Ooh, romantic, a little candlelight action. I'm gonna talk with you guys about fire. It can take life and it can give life. I'm gonna talk with you about the very basic fire starting tools that I always have in my possession, something that you can make in your kitchen that is not gonna cause any kind of a problem, and you can actually eat it if you need to. And of course, we're gonna talk about a few different ways of making fire. I've had this flint and steel for over 30 years. And then of course the ubiquitous Bic lighter. Let's bring the lights up and get to it. All right, we're back. Lights are up. So you live in the city. You live in an area where you're not out in the woods and need to make a fire to save your skin. Cool, man. Not all of us live in the same places. I have friends that are law enforcement officers, for example, in the middle of nowhere in North Dakota. Their car breaks down out in a blizzard. They could be hours or days from help. Even if you're out on a hunting trip in a 500-acre parcel, you take a spill and get wet, literally your ability to make a fire could be the difference between life and death. So I'm gonna share a couple things with you. I'm gonna show you guys my favorite fire making fire starter that I make in the kitchen out of two very simple ingredients. I'll show you how to make that. We'll light some up in the fireplace here, and food for thought. That's what this really is. So I've got a bag. Some people call these go bags. This is not a go bag. This is not the zombie apocalypse. This is a bag that always rides around with me. And I'm gonna do another video on the contents of this bag, but this is a bag that depending on the situation, I can grab this and pretty much take care of myself for a day or two. Again, not a go bag. It's not full of weapons and communication devices, basic survival type stuff for my situation. So if you live in Alaska, the contents of your bag would be different than the person that lives in Manhattan or Chicago or Philadelphia. So keep that in mind. Conversely, somebody that lives in the Everglades, while they may be in the bush, so to speak, they're not in the same bush as that person in Montana or Alaska. So you're gonna pack it accordingly. But let's get to it. Everything in here has a purpose, but what I wanna show you guys is the fire making stuff that I have in here. And again, we'll do another video on that. By the way, this is a very nice backpack from Vertex. We've got a discount code. So, little plastic OtterBox type case. You can use anything you want. I use this hard case for a couple of reasons. I can feel and find this in the dark. Also, I don't want the stuff that's in here getting spread around and heated up. Why? Because you'll see in a minute. So one of the things I have, very basic, probably see some of my wife and daughter's hair in there, dryer lint. Good old-fashioned dryer lint. Dryer lint will catch a spark. But Mick, I have a Bic lighter. Bic lighters work great till they're out of gas, till they mechanically break. So, you know, if that wheel breaks, you're out of luck. So what do I have in here? I've got two Bic lighters, and these are actual Bic. That one was some other brand. So I've got two lighters because, let's be honest, if I'm in a situation where one of these breaks and I need another one, or drop it, right? You could drop it, you could lose it. Chances are if I need more than two of them, there's something very, very wrong happening. And this is, again, context. I'm not in the Arctic for a 6-month expedition. This is something that's in the back of my truck. So I might have to head off to go find a lost kid or something. So I've got two lighters. And then I've got what I'm gonna show you how to make today. This is our fire starters. Now, what's cool about these, you can light a fire with them. That's a cotton ball, but that cotton ball has been impregnated with coconut oil. So if I needed to, oh, check it out. I've got some lip balm. I've got lip balm. I could eat this. There is some caloric value to this, so I could suck on this, and that's all it is a cosmetic cotton ball. I've got 4 or 5 of them in here. It's a cosmetic cotton ball that I impregnated with coconut oil. We'll show you that in a minute, how to do that. It takes 2 seconds to do. So I carry some of these in here. Now, other thing, if we've got good dry conditions, we've got good tinder and fire making products, we're not going to need any of this. This is for when I need a fire now. I can't screw around. I need an accelerant. I got to make sure it works. So why don't we real quick show you how to make this, then we'll come back to the fireplace here and get it done. Ready? Let's go. All right, we're in the lab. It's not the lab, it's the kitchen. Get yourself some coconut oil. This is just good old-fashioned Kirkland from Costco. Use this stuff for a lot of cooking and things like that. Put a little bit in a bowl. I don't know, a couple tablespoons. It's not that scientific. And we're gonna get it warm. We'll go 1 minute. Man, it's like watching paint dry. Looks like we're almost there though. All right, good, we're done. All right, so got some nice warm coconut oil. Who's into massage? So just drop these coconut or these cotton balls in there. And all we're trying to do is get them to soak up as much of the coconut oil as possible. And once they have soaked that up, you're just gonna let them come back to room temperature. Coconut oil solidifies at like, I don't know, 70 degrees, 65, now even warmer than that, probably in the 80s, because it doesn't really melt until it's on your skin if you're touching it. So that's it. I'm gonna let these cool, I'm gonna put them in a bag, and now we'll get back to the fireplace and I'll show you how they work. But as you're carrying these with you, even if they get warm like this, because it's a hot day, they're still gonna work. But truth be told, if it's so hot that they're melted, getting a fire built is probably not something that has to happen. So let's go check that out. All right, and we're back. I brought the ones down that we just made, and I will show you the ones that I've already got. So if you need to use these, you can use flint and steel, or you can also use the open flame. So I'm gonna break it up a little bit because that coconut oil causes this sucker to get kind of dense. You wanna just open up those fibers a little bit. And you can lick your fingers if you want to. Oh my God, this guy's a creep. No, I'm not. So what you're gonna notice, I gotta get the flue open here, not that we're gonna have a big fire. What you're gonna notice is they burn for a long time. So just as I continue here, I'm gonna light one up just to get it started so you can actually watch how long one of these suckers will burn. They burn very much like they burn like a candle. You've got a fuel and you've got a wick. The cotton is a wick. That sucker, I've seen these burn for up to 10 minutes just sitting on bare ground like that. So if you've got a flint and you've got some of the lint, we can also use the lint in conjunction with the fire starter. And what that's gonna do, this is gonna do a better job of catching the sparks. So we'll get rid of this guy for a minute. We don't need that. And I'm gonna squeeze myself in here and I'm just gonna toss some sparks. I've created a little catcher's mitt in there. I'm gonna toss some sparks into it. Look how fast that came to life. That's not a lot of sparkage at all. Now that lint, you guys have probably seen this if you're into this type of discussion. That is a great fire starter and it's free. You have this stuff every day your dryer makes it or every day that you're washing clothes. So now if I want to, I can, if I need an additional accelerant, I can now feed the coconut oil starter in there. Look at that guy still going. Something else you can use these for, if this is gonna burn for 5-10 minutes, and the denser it is, the longer it's gonna burn because those cotton fibers stay together, that's a good light source. You need to read a map, you need to mark something. Now look, again, context. In modern times, most of us have flashlights, we have things like that, but it can be used for that, for a light source. It can be used for a food source. It can be used, like I said, on your skin or lips if you've got chapped lips. You can use it on a burn if you have a burn. But you can see, just looking at these, how simple and cheap they are, and they're not petroleum based. They're not gonna hurt you. They can sit stored in your bag. So again, easy to make, easy to have on hand, safe to store, and look, they're still going. These things will go the way that this one looks, I bet you she'll go 10 more minutes easy. Maybe in a future video, we'll put it on time lapse and just let them roll. So the total contents of this box: flint and steel, a couple of lighters. I've got that lint. I've got the coconut oil fire starters with cotton balls. And then I've got this little cheap tea light. And these things are pennies each. You can buy a big bag of them. And why I want this and have this is that's a light source. If I'm working on getting a fire started, if it's not too windy, if I light that sucker up, I don't need to keep lighting matches or steel or lighters and burning up my fuel. It also, as that hot wax drips onto stuff, becomes an additional accelerant. Oh, by the way, these are still going. It's pretty darn cool, isn't it? Next time I'm up, I'm going to show you on this series what else is in this bag. Great Vertex bag. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that's in here, and I bet you you're going to like it. The long and the short of it, guys, it's not about how tactical or how survival-minded you can be. It's about coming up with easy ways that you can move about in the spaces and places that you live and have a plan to deal with the things that life tosses at us. A good word for that is vicissitudes. Look that up. The ebb and the flow, the good and the bad. We can deal with the things that arise. This is Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. I hope that you enjoyed this little quick video. Fire. Pretty darn cool. Be well.